They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. Truth is gonna be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozy, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never nobody, right? I'm the that never nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
Y'all, not Kanye West snitching hard on everything that he saw at Diddy's parties. Now, we knew that it was only a matter of time before everyone who was at the parties started to snitch on each other, but we didn't know that they would be snitching this hard. And the wild part about this is that Kanye West seems to be first in line to snitch, and he has a lot to say about Diddy and Oprah, especially when it comes to Diddy's parties and Oprah's alleged activities at the parties. Kanye did not come to play, and it looks like Oprah might need to get her PR team in overdrive because the details that Kanye came to spill about her are even more shocking than you can imagine. Now, if we're being honest, Kanye coming out to expose Oprah isn't exactly because he's a good guy or because he believes in doing the right thing or anything like that. Instead, he is snitching to save his own skin and take some of the heat off himself because he recently got sued for SA and his accuser linked him right to Diddy. The accuser, Lauren Pisciotta, claimed that Kanye acted highly unprofessionally towards her while she was employed with him. Initially, he hired her for his Yeezy fashion line, but after several months, he elevated her to the position of personal assistant, presenting her with an impressive salary of $1 million. According to reports, Lauren was primarily supporting herself via an OnlyFans profile in 2021 when she met West. She says he hired her to work on the first season of his Yeezy women's fashion line, and they ended up collaborating on 3 tracks from his Donda album. Pisciotta does not have any formal credits on the record, however. West subsequently hired Pisciotta as his personal assistant with an annual salary of $1 million on the condition that she was available 24/7. She says she agreed to the terms. However, it didn't take long for Kanye to start acting out toward her, and it got to the point where he would send her some seriously inappropriate text messages. According to reports, after she closed the account, she claimed she was bombarded with explicit text messages from West, including videos. Pisciotta also claims while talking to her on the phone, and that on one occasion, he pleasured himself in front of her after trapping her in a private room on his plane. She claimed that he would say stuff like, "See, my problem is I be wanting to you, but then after I want a girl to tell me how hard they've been she while I'm them, then I want her to cheat on me." He would apparently go on to describe his intimate fantasies with vulgar language. Another time, she claimed that he texted her saying, "Is my D racist? It is. This effing racist D of mine. I gonna this E-racist D for being racist. I'm going to stare at pictures of white women with black behinds and beat the ish out of my racist," beating the ish out of his big blacks. Just when we thought things were starting to calm down for him, Lauren updated her wrongful termination lawsuit to include SA allegations, claiming that Kanye allegedly spiked her drink and then S***ed her at one of Diddy's parties. According to reports, Pisciotta says she and her former artist management client, whose name is not in the lawsuit, were invited by Ye to the session he co-hosted with Diddy. According to the lawsuit, soon after they arrived, drinks were served to her and others in attendance, followed by an announcement that everybody had to drink if they wanted to stay. Pisciotta says she drank, but after a few small sips of the beverage, poured at the direction of Kanye West aka Ye by a studio assistant and then served to her by Kanye West, plaintiff suddenly started to feel disoriented. Pisciotta says she woke up the next day remembering almost nothing of what took place at the alleged studio session and felt immense shame and embarrassment. TMZ reported that Pisciotta says years later, while working with Kanye, she claims West brought up the night in question, saying they did hook up and proceeding to provide further details of the alleged incident. Before Kanye allegedly provided those details, Lauren says she thought she simply got embarrassed herself at a work function. The legal document went on to say that after Pisciotta allegedly told West she had no memory of the studio session, West laughed and told her that women love to say they don't remember. Up until that very point, right before that very conversation, plaintiff was unaware that she had been subjected to gender and battery on that studio night by Kanye West, aka YE. Yeah, Kanye is in a very tight place, so like I said, it's not all that surprising that he would be snitching on other people to take the heat off himself because he was getting dragged for filth, and he came big because the person he offered up in place of himself is none other than Oprah herself. Kanye made some bold accusations, suggesting that Oprah was supposedly Diddy's madame and played a role in helping him find women for his parties. This shouldn't come as a shock, considering Oprah was close friends with Harvey Weinstein. British actress Katia Noble previously called out both Oprah and Naomi Campbell for allegedly helping Weinstein in her. She claimed that Oprah allegedly her for Weinstein and assisted him in SAing her.
He was with people in which I admired dearly. He was with Naomi Campbell, he had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who entered the room and was swinging off his arm and just seemed like a very dear friend.
The crazy part about this is that while she was allegedly trafficking girls to Harvey Weinstein and Diddy, Oprah was busy trying to hide her tracks by pretending to fight against SA in the industry. Remember when she suddenly decided to do a documentary about Michael Jackson after his death? After Michael Jackson passed away, Oprah did a complete 180. She became fixated on the Leaving Neverland documentary, which painted Michael negatively. Oprah even interviewed his accusers, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, who had claimed that Michael Jackson had hurt them when they were younger. However, both men later recanted their statements and denied that he ever harmed them, making it all the more shocking that Oprah would go out of her way to tarnish his legacy, especially since she claimed they were best friends when he was alive. Oprah's choice to give the accusers a platform drew a lot of backlash. On one hand, she argued that she was trying to raise awareness about the pervasive culture of SA in the entertainment industry, but many people felt something was off. Aside from her friendship with MJ, the fact that the accusers recanted and the inconsistencies in their stories left many people skeptical. The situation becomes even stranger when you consider her connections to figures like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. For years, there have been rumors and allegations suggesting that Oprah was aware of their actions long before they were publicly uncovered. Yet, she appeared perfectly fine, remaining silent and ignoring the situation. It really raises questions about her role as a so-called advocate for justice. How can she position herself as someone who holds others accountable when she seems to go silent regarding people within her circle? It feels like she's quick to call out wrongdoing elsewhere, but chooses to look the other way when it hits close to home. When her friends are involved, her voice seems to vanish, and now Kanye is pointing out the hypocrisy. If you think her connections to Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein are bad enough, Chile, we haven't even scratched the surface. Oprah also had ties to a man named John of God, a Brazilian who claimed to be a spiritual healer, but was eventually exposed as a complete fraud. Oprah seemed to be obsessed with him, featuring him on her show for several years and promoting him as if he were the best thing since sliced bread.
It would ever happen. One of the most famous spiritual healers in the world rarely talks to anyone on camera. John of God agreed to sit down with me under a mango tree on the grounds of the casa. A group of his patients gathered to watch. John of God speaks only Portuguese, so Heather Cumming helped translate. Ready, guys? You describe yourself as a spiritual medium. What does that mean, a medium?
Médium, eu sou espiritualista.
As a medium, he's a spiritualist. He believes a great deal in God, and he practices this mission already 55 years.
She continued to showcase him until he was revealed to be involved in some truly horrifying crimes. It came to light that he had kept teenagers chained up as slaves and sold their for up to 50,000 pounds each, moving them from Brazil to Europe. Allegedly, when the girls could no longer conceive, he would unalive them. It's pretty wild how many sketchy men Oprah has been associated with, isn't it? It's almost like she has a knack for finding herself around these shady figures, which makes us question how much she really knows. When John of God was exposed, Oprah didn't say a word or take any steps to distance herself from him. All she did was stop mentioning him. No criticism, no expressions of disgust, just silence. It was all crickets from her. Now get this. Multiple people in the industry have suspected Oprah of being directly involved in some shady activities with these questionable men. Several individuals have come forward to accuse her of assisting Russell Simmons and Harvey Weinstein in covering up their SA crimes. She was called out by actress Rose McGowan, who tweeted, "I am glad more are seeing the ugly truth of Oprah. I wish she were real, but she isn't. From being pals with Weinstein to abandoning and destroying Russell Simmons' victims, she is about supporting a sick power structure for personal gain. She is as fake as they come." Singer Seal also hinted that Oprah was lying about not knowing of Harvey Weinstein's crimes. He made a post on Instagram saying, "Oh, I forgot. That's right. You'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially starry-eyed actresses who in turn had no idea what they were getting into. My bad number, sanctimonious Hollywood." The interesting thing about this is that Seal faced battery charges only 5 days after calling Oprah out. The charges were dropped after a few days, but the interesting thing here is that an inside source revealed that Seal's accuser reported the singer to police in Los Angeles after she noticed that he had accused Oprah Winfrey of knowing about Harvey Weinstein's offenses in a damning Instagram post. But wait. It gets worse, because Kanye is now claiming that Oprah allegedly helped Diddy move girls, if you know what I mean. I don't know if y'all remember this, but during the pandemic, it was reported that Oprah's Florida house was raided by the authorities for charges related to. However, she denied the claims, writing, Just got a phone call that my name is trending and being trolled for some awful fake thing. It's not true. Haven't been raided or arrested. Well, Kanye is now claiming that the feds allegedly had some credible intel, but Oprah covered her tracks before they could make a move. Interestingly, around this same time, Diddy conveniently announced that he had adopted a daughter, only for her to disappear after a few weeks. Suspicious, isn't it?
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Eva Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
Hey, but that's like a little bit like borderline suspect. I don't want nobody, we want to get it clear. I adopted you like Madonna adopted kids and everybody else adopted kids, Charlize Theron, everybody that's ever adopted Sandra Bullock. I adopted you because I felt that you could, enjoy also having a black parent to take care of you and help you out. So just clarify it, because it's crazy out here online. So I played with the kids, and I got permission from your mother, and say all of that, just make it, because it's crazy out here.
Well, I met Jesse and Delilah when I was 6 months old.
6 months.
And then we basically are sisters, all 4 of us. So. And then I always come over.
Yes. And it's Ava Baroni Combs. Let's go.
Kanye is claiming that Oprah has allegedly been in on the entire thing, and honestly, that's super creepy. But if you think that it couldn't possibly get shadier, it's about to.
For years, I didn't like Oprah Winfrey. She's not the type of person, tough, smart, and powerful you'd want to have an issue with. But I felt the type of way about the things she said about hip-hop music in the past.
But why haven't any of Diddy's friends spoke up for him?
My man, listen here. All those ones who made it to the Diddy party, to the after party, and to the hotel lobby, they not gonna ruin their brand. They not gonna say nothing.
Chilly Oprah better watch her step, because she's been rubbing a lot of artists in Hollywood the wrong way lately. You know how folks have been calling out Diddy's crew for enabling? Well, 50 Cent's out here saying Oprah's allegedly one of them. But hold up, it gets wilder. Turns out there are way more victims of Oprah's antics than we thought. 50's spilling all the tea, saying Oprah's been not only sabotaging black artists' careers, but also playing pimp for Diddy. It's like we're gearing up for a surviving Oprah movement. And let me tell you, it's going to be a whole mess. Oprah might be in for a rude awakening because the folks she's been stepping on are starting to stand up and speak out. You'd think someone as powerful as Oprah would be more careful about who she's cozying up to, but it seems like she's been playing a dangerous game. And now, it looks like it's all starting to catch up with her. Get ready, because this surviving Oprah movement is about to shake things up big time.
Truth in that, you know what I'm saying? Because 50 claims that she basically took their money because she tarnished their name, you know what I'm saying? Even though he be trolling like a motherfucker. I'm just saying, my nigga, you've been doing a lot of P. Diddy trolling. That's okay, right? But he has a problem with Oprah, supporting those documentaries and all that,
Not 50 Cent coming for Oprah with all this D-drama. Oprah has been laying low these past few months. But 50 ain't having it. He spilled some serious tea on Oprah, and Chilly, she looks even worse than she has in years. That's saying something, cause y'all know Oprah has been caught up in some shady stuff. I'm gonna lie, it ain't all that shocking to hear Oprah might have been in cahoots with Diddy. They have been tight for years. If there's one person who's faced shadier allegations than Diddy, it's Oprah. For years now, rumors have been flying that she's working as a handler for the Hollywood elites, keeping artists in check. But 50 Cent is ready to blow it open, and Oprah is not gonna come out looking good. Oprah always had a rep for being one of the champions of black excellence in Hollywood. She gives back to the community, got a girls' school in South Africa, and is seen as one of Hollywood's biggest philanthropists. That's why she's one of the biggest black women in media. I mean, she's a self-made billionaire who built herself from the ground up. On the surface, Oprah is a champion of black excellence, a philanthropist, and a self-made billionaire. But as more industry insiders speak out, we see a different picture of Oprah. The revelations about her are shocking, and the more you look into it, the more unsettling it becomes. And guess what? 50 Cent is spilling the tea too, talking about how Oprah's been staying under the radar these past few years. She's been involved in so many messy scandals that should have ruined her career. Not only has she stayed on top, but her scandals have been buried so deep that most folks don't even know what she's been up to. But now, 50 Cent is sick and tired of her antics and is spilling all the tea on what she's really like. If there is someone in Hollywood you don't want teaming up against you, it's 50 Cent. He's as fearless as they come. 50 is known as the biggest troll in Hollywood. He never lets go of beef or forgives his ops. He stands 10 toes down and holds on to grudges for years. He's got a rep for coming for his enemies on social media, dragging them, and going above and beyond to make things messy. But besides being a troll, he's also a champion for black justice. As messy as he can be, he's usually one of the first to speak up when a black artist is mistreated, and he offers his support. He even promised to donate the proceeds from the Diddy documentary he's working on to victims in South Africa. And that wasn't the first time. 50 was one of the few in the industry who publicly supported Monique after Oprah blackballed her. When Taraji revealed that Oprah underpaid her for her role in The Color Purple, 50 Cent jumped in quick, offering her a role in one of his upcoming projects and promising to pay her what she's worth. According to 50, Oprah has a long history of setting up black artists for failure, using her platform to make them look bad. Take Toni, for example. Back in '98, Oprah dragged her on the show after Toni went bankrupt. It wasn't like Toni blew her money on fancy stuff. Nah, her financial advisors scammed her and made bad investments. When Toni went on Oprah's show to explain, Oprah kinda threw her under the bus. She kept saying Toni wasn't street smart and wasn't wise with money. But before the show, they agreed Toni would clear her name. Instead, Oprah made it worse by talking about how Toni should have been smarter.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%?
100%.
How did that happen?
Because I allowed all my finances to become everyone else's finances. That's pretty much how I got here. A lot of the, you wear the, like you said, the expensive dresses and the shoes and all that kind of stuff. But what was happening, I think the most important thing I learned is to trust and believe in myself. And don't put all your trust and belief in someone else when it comes to handling your money.
Oh, please, that is the first rule.
I know, right?
That is success 101.
Man, Oprah was doing the absolute most with that. There was no need for all that drama, but it got even worse. Oprah started clowning Toni for going broke. See, Toni grew up rich and never knew the struggle like Oprah. After Toni went bankrupt, Oprah mocked her for not affording her fancy designer stuff anymore. She even asked if Toni was going to start selling her stuff to make cash.
B-R-O-K-E, broke?
Broke.
Like broke?
Like no money.
No money.
Yeah.
Like net worth what?
Negative.
Negative?
Negative.
She has filed for bankruptcy. Appraisers are now taking stock of her personal possessions, her baby grand piano, her Gucci silverware, her Porsche and Lexus. They're even counting her shoes and her Grammys. First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware. When you had Gucci silverware and baby grand pianos, and you're used to wearing $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 gowns at a time, and spending $500 on a pair of shoes.
Man, telling that to a woman who just went bankrupt on TV? Nasty move. Oprah was way out of line. Even though Toni was smiling, she was uncomfortable, but she had to keep it professional on stage, so she just grinned and bore it. As soon as she got off stage, though, she called Oprah out. She told everyone how Oprah had been shady the whole time, which made her feel mad and uncomfortable.
She's so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
100%.
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me. And immediately, she made me feel this big. This big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
Years later, Monique brought up this moment when she was fighting against Oprah. She wrote, "If you think Oprah only demeans black men, It's because the black woman has been made virtually invisible. See for yourself with our sister Tony B, in case you forgot or never knew. Now, let's talk about Monique. She's one of the prime examples of Oprah flexing her power and trying to crush her ops. And with Monique, Oprah actually did some damage and messed up her career. Back in 2009, Monique starred in Oprah's movie, Precious. Oprah and Tyler Perry, two big money black folks in the biz, could have easily paid Monique what she deserved. But nah, they decided to lowball her and pay her peanuts. But Monique took it, and she killed her role. Her performance still gives folks chills. Precious was such a hit that Oprah and Tyler Perry even did a press tour to hype it up even more. But Monique wasn't feeling it at all. She'd already done her part for the movie and completed her contract. She was done, ready to chill with her family after being away for so long. She said no to the press tour, wanted to relax and be with her kids, but Oprah and Tyler Perry pushed for it, out of nowhere. After some back and forth, Monique agreed to do it. But there was a catch. They didn't want to pay her for it. Usually, actors get paid for press tours. But Oprah was stingy and didn't want to cough up a dime. And she expected Monique to foot all the bills. Flights, hotels, glam squad, food. You name it, Monique was supposed to pay for it. Crazy, right? This was definitely not the norm. Usually the production covers all that. And Oprah expecting Monique to foot the bill for a movie she shortchanged her on? Crazy. When Monique said no, Oprah flipped. She used her clout to trash Monique. Just like that, Monique went from a stellar actress to difficult to work with. Oprah even spread some of the rumor on her own when she had an interview and she said, "It's a law that if you meet negative with negative, you will just have a combustive negative force of energy. You can't meet negative energy where it is. You have to rise above it. You have to transcend it. I would never stoop to try to meet somebody where they are negatively. Don't care who they are." She also got the industry to blackball Monique and forced people to stop working with Monique, effectively sabotaging Monique's career and setting her back. So when Monique made that post about how Oprah makes black women invisible, she was talking from experience and a place of hurt. If anyone knows how Oprah can be, it's Monique. But during those years when she was blackballed, 50 Cent stood with her 10 toes down and he showed support for her. He was one of the only few people who wasn't scared to go against Oprah for her. And he publicly spoke up for Monique, saying, "All in favor of Monique being back on top. Say make it happen, 50. Stop effing around." I went to see Monique's stand-up show during Super Bowl weekend. It was so good. She had me in a trance. You gotta go check her out. 50 Cent had beef with Oprah too. He says she tried to blackball him when he was starting out. In his book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, he spilled the tea about how he purposely became her enemy after she dissed his lyrics on her show. He wanted to be on her show to show his grandma he made it big. However, he never appeared on her show because Oprah publicly slammed him, calling his lyrics misogynist and accusing him of glorifying gun violence. He also revealed that Oprah was completely against everything that was in his music, saying, "She ain't never gonna have me on that show. I'm never going to reach that platform, which is confirmation of you being a huge success." So I just said, okay, if we can't be friends, then at least let's be enemies. After all the drama, 50 Cent decided to mess with Oprah by naming his dog after her and his cat after Gayle King. Petty? Oh, definitely. But that's 50 for you. This explains why he's coming for Oprah now. But wait, there's more. He says Oprah's super manipulative, using her platform to make black artists look bad for no reason. Take Ludacris, for example. Luda was on Oprah's show for his movie Crash Press Run, but Oprah switched gears and started grilling him about his music and why he uses the N-word. Luda wasn't having it and called her out on the radio.
That she had made about, I was there for a Crash for the movie. Yeah. And basically she said something about not agreeing with my music, but she thought I did great in the movie. And of course I was up there with the whole cast of Crash. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't necessarily feel like that needed to be said. You know, you didn't agree with my music. And even if you don't agree with certain songs I made, say you don't agree with certain songs, don't say you just don't agree with all of mine, man. Right.
But that was not all. When the Ludacris interview aired on her show, she went on to edit and cut out certain parts of Ludacris's response to her questions to make him look bad.
And she was able to say what she said, and then I had my rebuttal. And when I saw the final show, first my comments were in there. It was in there, but yours wasn't in there. Mine weren't in there, so it just looked like I kind of took it. Wow. Like it was just quiet.
It's all messed up, and according to 50, that's just the tip of the iceberg with Oprah. He called her out for using her platform to tear down Michael Jackson's legacy too. Back in '93, MJ gave Oprah a rare interview at Neverland Ranch. It was a big deal because MJ was so private. That interview made Oprah even bigger worldwide, until MJ passed. she claimed they were friends. But when he passed away, Oprah did a 180. She jumped on the Leaving Neverland controversy, painting MJ in a bad light. She even interviewed his accusers, Wade Robson and James Safechuck. But they'd already changed their stories, saying that MJ didn't do it. So why would she give them a platform again? It seemed like she was trying to cast doubt on MJ's innocence. But Oprah said she was just raising awareness about industry SA girl. Talk about double standards. She has been linked to folks like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, and they were tight as can be. There have been rumors and allegations that she knew what they were up to way before they got busted, but he was perfectly fine to keep her mouth shut and look the other way. So she watched her buddies SA women, but suddenly she's Mr. Justice Warrior? Nah, that ain't adding up. It's like the calls coming from inside her own house, but she's ignoring it like crazy. When it's her friends involved, suddenly she's got nothing to say? Please, she needs to check herself before she tries to play judge and jury for everybody else. You can't just turn a blind eye to your own backyard mess and act like you're clean as a whistle everywhere else. That's some serious selective outrage right there. 50 Cent also pointed out Oprah's hypocrisy, saying, "Don't understand why Oprah is going after black men. No Harvey Weinstein, no Epstein, just Michael Jackson and Russell Williams. That ish is sad." Gayle hit R. Kelly with the Death Blow documentary. Every time I hear Michael Jackson, I don't know whether to dance or think about the little boy's butt. This documentary is publicly convicting their targets. It makes them guilty till proven innocent. He also pointed out that Oprah is always knee-deep in shady stuff, and her inner circle isn't squeaky clean either. It's weird how Oprah has been linked to way too many shady situations, and that many people in her inner circle have been exposed for, or at least accused of, being creeps. Remember when she was all about that Brazilian dude, John of God? Oprah flew all the way to Brazil to meet him and had him on her show, hyping him up like crazy. But then, he got exposed for some real messed up stuff. He was exposed for keeping women chained up against their will. He forcefully impregnated them, forced them to have babies, and then sold the babies for profit or for their organs. And Oprah? She was linked to him for years, but when it hit the fan, she acted like it never happened. No apology, no explanation, nada. All she did was delete the videos of John from her page, and there was no official statement from her where she distanced herself from him. It was like he never existed, and we were all hallucinating about him being linked to her. And if you're wondering why there was so little media coverage about this in the US, well, Oprah has her powerful friends to thank for that. Girl, one creep is bad enough, but it's like Oprah's got a whole squad of them. People keep calling her out for rolling with dudes who are straight up shady toward women. Remember that British actress, Katie and Noble? She straight up called out Oprah and Naomi Campbell for helping Harvey Weinstein pull some dirty tricks on her, leading to her being SA'd.
People in which I admired dearly. He was with Naomi Campbell, he had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who entered the room and was swinging off his arm and just seemed like a very dear friend.
You'd think someone as powerful as Oprah would be more careful about who she has in her inner circle. But nah, seems like she's got a knack for attracting the wrong crowd. And it's not just one or two bad apples. Seems like it's a whole tree of bad apples. Like that wasn't bad enough. Different people came out to accuse Oprah of allegedly helping Russell Simmons and Harvey Weinstein cover up their SA crimes. She was called out by actress Rose McGowan, who tweeted, "I am glad more are seeing the ugly truth of Oprah. I wish she were real, but she isn't. From being pals with Weinstein to abandoning and destroying Russell Simmons' victims, she is about supporting a sick power structure for personal gain. She is as fake as they come." Singer Seal also hinted that Oprah was lying about not knowing of Harvey Weinstein's crimes. He made a post on Instagram saying, "Oh, I forgot, that's right. You'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starry-eyed actresses, who in turn had no idea what they were getting into. My bad. Sanctimonious Hollywood." The interesting thing about this is that Seal faced battery charges only 5 days after calling Oprah out. The charges were dropped after a few days. But the interesting thing here is that an inside source revealed that Seal's accuser reported the singer to police in Los Angeles after she noticed that he had accused Oprah Winfrey of knowing about Harvey Weinstein's sexual offenses in a damning Instagram post. This is super shady and kind of convinced people that Oprah knew more about the SA culture in Hollywood than she was letting on. And according to reports, Dave Chappelle is also convinced of that. Things got more heated in 2020 when it was reported that Oprah's Florida house was raided by the authorities for charges related to trafficking. However, she denied the claims, writing, "Just got a phone call that my name is trending, and being trolled for some awful fake thing. It's not true. Haven't been raided or arrested." But according to 50, there is one more person that we tend to forget about when it comes to this, and that's none other than Diddy. According to 50, Oprah was allegedly working as Diddy's madam and allegedly helping him recruit young girls for his freaky activities. Oh, and remember that school she set up in Africa? Well, it didn't take long for that school to become the subject of a concerning controversy. One of the male schoolmates was arrested on SA charges for inappropriate behavior with female students, which is just creepy. According to Diddy's bodyguard, Gene Deal, Oprah is involved in all this mess and has been linked to all these men because she allegedly enables their creepy shenanigans. You know how it goes. Most bad guys have someone backing them up, and Gene Deal says Oprah was allegedly one of the enablers Diddy had in his corner.
But why haven't any of Diddy's friends spoke up for him?
My man, listen here. All those ones who made it to the Diddy party, to the after party, and to the hotel lobby, they not gonna ruin their brand. They not gonna say nothing. I was like, yo, damn. He still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein. He was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce.
Yeah, well, Oprah can't exactly call out Diddy because y'all better believe that he has receipts on her for days. Fans commented, "Time to open an investigation into Oprah Winfrey, Oprah with P. Diddy, Oprah with John of God, Oprah with Harvey Weinstein, Oprah with Bill Cosby. What a coincidence that so many of her favorite people are PDF files, SAers, or under investigation. Haven't trusted Oprah for years, and I'm happy she's being called out by multiple people. I don't say this lightly, but I really think there's something evil about her. And she had y'all fooled. I ain't never liked Oprah. I try the spirit by the spirit, and I knew she wasn't right as a young person. So do y'all really think that 50 Cent is telling the truth about Oprah helping Diddy? Let me know what you think in the comments, then check out this next video.